Happy 501 day! I'm Den, and this is Den and Denim. This is our third of the annual live streams that we do on 501 day, May 20th. If you have a pair of Levi's lying around, take a look at them. Somewhere on them you will find the date, May 20th, 1873. And that's what we're celebrating. 151 years of riveted garments. Now it all starts here in the duck pants, and I've made a video for quite a few years in the collection. The recreations of Levi's vintage clothing, pick certain years, and this is what my channel does. It talks about how they changed from this to this to this, and the people who wore them too. Now this is our live stream. We've got a lot planned. First, I'd like to just throw out a few thanks to some people who have Patreon members, or helped me get an item, or been my friend through this, or given me music to use. Got a lot of people to thank, but to you guys, Chance, Ingvea, Fitsanu, Darren, Tobias, Charles, Riley, Joel, Vincent, Alec, Sam, Sam Z, Michael, Mike, Jesse, Chris, Dave, Sarah, Evan, James, Matt, and Nolan. Thank you guys for all of your support. Just absolutely loving it. A lot of this stuff really makes my day. When I see a comment that thank you for doing the history combined with the fits, that's what I do the channel for. That's what I love about it. This is pretty much a holiday for us. It started out with me taking the day off of work and spending time with the family at little kids' amusement park, and bouncy balls, eat out at a restaurant, some sushi for the cats. I don't think they're interested in new jeans. I am. And we're going to talk about the new stuff available, and also a lot of stuff I didn't get a chance to do an episode for in the last year. But let's talk about what we're wearing. Now, I divide everything in the collection of 150 years up into 3 periods within the Levi's vintage clothing collection, and then I'm calling it modern after that. So 1870s to just after World War II, 1946, let's say. Historic or recreation, or in the style of, if you're wearing that. I'm wearing an 1879 triple pleat blouse. That would be in the historic realm. It's got sewn-on buttons, and it's gotten about 2 months of wear, and it's lost 2 buttons. Got one sewn back on, of course, backwards. Why not? It's stronger that way. And another one missing, popped off today. Why not? Then you have the classic. Oh, the classic is what everyone loves. It's just everything about. We're talking the big E. We're talking concealed rivets, yellow lemon stitching, perfect in fit and in the people who wore them. That would be from 1947 all the way till 1966, the first year of bar tax. Then you start to get changes that a lot of people don't like. And all the way till 1984, and that's when the Levi's vintage clothing collection kind of says enough is enough, the end of Selvedge. So that's the retro. If you're wearing 67 to 84, and that's what I'm wearing today. I am wearing a pair of LVC 1979s. It's a made in Valencia pair. There's a longer distance now from to when this recreation was made than to when this recreation was being based on. It's pretty POMO for you. Took a poll of what you guys are wearing, and earlier on it was historic. Most people were wearing. This is about out of 100 people. It was about 80 at this point. Last time I checked, an hour ago, it was about 100, and classic is now the foremost winner. Then historic, then retro. No, then modern, and then retro. No. You pick what you want to wear, and it's all wonderful. Be in sweatpants if you want. I don't care. Talk about the jeans behind me. Well, here's a t-shirt from last year. That's the birthday of the Blue Jeans t-shirt, celebrating 150 years. Bunch of fun pictures on there. Not one mention of the inventor of riveted garments, but we're going to get to that pretty soon. I think you all know his name. There is the name we do know. Mr. Strauss is right here. And the most prize of my collection, I must say, is last year's 501 special, the 1873. No arcuate, no patent date rivets, no insignia of much anything except for the patch and the gusset. Now, before this weekend, you could not buy another item with this gusset in there. Just a couple extra pieces that we're not even sure were even on the jeans. We are sure we're on the duck pants, but they're not on any of the versions of that. I have been wanting those duck pants for a long time. Get to wear them once in a great while. And then, these are not 501s, by the way. These are double X waist overalls in denim and duck from the 1870s. Then we have 201s, the budget model, historic budget. And I think until last week, it was the foremost limited edition item, the women's 401s. My wife loves them. And it's just so great to have a limited edition item for her, her first one. It comes with a letter. She's very happy about them. And you get the Viola Longacre stitching in there. If you are going to buy these, then you must upsize 3 whole sizes. 2.5 to 3.5. You'll want to use the cinch, but it's all right here on this shirt, actually. There's a size guide, and it says what things are going to shrink, but also if women want to buy men's sizes, the conversion. So if you're used to buying a size 25, then you need a size 28. The highest it goes in the US is 36. In Europe, I think 32. In Japan, 30. But then you have to minus 3 sizes. Men, you can get, I guess, your own size, what you're used to. Then on the other side, we've got 501s. So let's talk about 501s because it's 501 day. The first 501 ever, 1890s. I've been wanting these forever. This is what I dreamt of as a kid, and they made them. Touche, and I love them. They're magical to me. Then we got a pair that I'm working in from Rigid just recently, 1937s. This is perhaps the golden year. Everything changes this year, and if you're going to pick just one year to recreate, I really think that this stands the test of time with showing a lot of those historic features. But then we're moving on. I'm going to skip over a lot of the classic to go to what was my first pair of LVC and really got me turned on to Selvedge Denim and everything is 1966's. Just a wonderful fit if you do a tub soak, and I can say that for all of these, but from a modern jean perspective, to go back in time too much might scare you. This is a good step. Then an untouched pair, because I just wanted to show you a pair with flasher and guarantee tag. And I loved those as a kid when I'd get my pair of 501s. and I would just rip off half of the flasher and carefully remove the stitching and place the guarantee tag in a drawer on my desk, and remove the next one after I saved a couple. I don't know. Now they're all wonderful collector's parts, and they're not even on a new pair. All right, let's round it off with just, a little baby pair for cuteness. Why not? It is a pair of 501s, so. That's the jeans behind me. I gotta get to the main point everyone's waiting for, I guess. But let's jump right into it. LVC, what up with that? I get this the most, so I want to just address it. All right, so the word is now, and it hasn't changed that much in the last year of what I know. The Japanese division has the licensing for the LVC collection, and they choose what they're going to do. They're probably still going to pump out most of the 501s in the classic years that you can get in rigid for the most part, but they seem to be releasing a few other distressed versions. Some limited editions, jackets, and the news that I've been hearing is that there will be something big coming from Levi's USA, either a made in California with the Eureka Labs or the Best of Red Tab, which could be a classic collection and a reimagining of it historically. So either way, we're kind of starting from ground zero again with it, but they seem to be doing an all right job with how they've been releasing stuff. We'll get more into that in a bit. So I like to make cookies, and I made cookies last year to celebrate the rivet. This year I really perfected the blue, I think. Cheesecake stuffed, distressed white chocolate with lemon curd arcuate. Or, if you prefer, in Redline Selvedge. Take a bite of one of these. Just use real cheesecake in some, and then some cheesecake filling in others. Yeah. I think this looks very patriotic at times. I could reuse this pattern. I always thought that about it, that there's an almost Captain America appeal to the Redline Selvedge. Wow. That cheesecake just has like a hint of nutmeg. It's a nice one. Okay. Enough about cookies. I think I want to jump into a fun fact. Now, I hope to present another fun fact that you won't find you'll have to do in some other research, and that I've come across in my other research. And who invented the riveted garment? Anyone guesses? Jacob Davis. Now, This is the only picture of Mr. Davis I have. This is absolutely it. I mean, the one picture of his face and then his tombstone. So that's 2. Why not? Everything else is very unknown about the entire family. So when you do get information, it is interesting. And he was married to Annie Davis. And tonight's fun fact is a little bit about her. So Jacob Davis was born in Riga, Latvia, which was part of the Russian Empire at that point. And he knew he had big dreams. So he wanted to get to America. He didn't know what he was going to do. He wasn't a tailor yet. He had many other failed careers before that. But he had a dream. I'm assuming that he was taking a slow land route and basically stopped in a town called Poznan, which would have been in the Prussian Empire at that point. Kind of what Germany is now, but the Brandenburg part, not the Bavaria part where Mr. Strauss is from. And this city is where he met his wife. Her name was Anna Paksha. And I pretty much have found which street they would have lived on. Here's a rendition of the town it would have looked like back then. And basically a walled city with a town center right next to a river. And there would have been one street that he could have lived on, or that she could have lived on, and they would have resided. So that's a picture from 1905 with the lady in it. Let's just go with that's a picture of Anna Parkshire for, your mind to say, hold on to. But this is the street they would have lived on. Probably would have met here or met in the center. And what's really cool for me is that I met my wife in that same city. Little bit of ways, but it holds a special memory for me. It's, I think, brings me closer to Mr. Davis. Now, I don't have the exact address, and I've been trying to look up records of Anna Parkshire's family, but a lot of stuff got burnt in the 1870s, so there's not much. I do, however, have something they would have been drinking to celebrate their engagement or some holidays. Now, this is, we'll give it a shot. Just a small one, though. This is called Slivovice. And it is a very strong alcohol made from plums. So this is their springtime drink that Jacob Davis and Anna Parkshire would have had around 1860, before leaving Europe, when she meets this guy who says, "Oh, I've got a dream. I'm going to go to America. I'm going to be rich." And she asks, "Well, do you speak English?" "Not a word." "And do you have any trades?" "Not a thing." And she went with it. So to Anna Parkshire on 501 Day. Whoa. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's just turpentine. Oh, 100% turpentine. Not even. With a smack of plum. Wow. No, that's nice. Oh, fruity. Oh, that's wonderful. All right. Now I want to let you know how to help out the channel, because I've got a lot of people who are helping out. A lot of people from me. I'm a underpaid school teacher who has made a bad, hopefully not so bad, retirement investment. But if I could just get some money to do one less day of work, I think we're a quarter of the way there. Pretty much what the funding does that you guys give me from Patreon and super thanks goes right into the technical aspect, and that's what it's going to do. This year, getting a new computer, trying to take more time to get the videos done. But there are other ways if you don't want to donate directly. Then I want to tell you about Kotoku, which is these affiliate links. And I was a little skeptical at first because I'm not really big on sponsorship and doing anything like this. But Nick Coe, who's the co-founder of Heddles is this blog that I have been using as a resource for photos, information, ideas for the history of the videos, and it's been wonderful. So I really want to take this chance and looked at it. And these are stores like I buy from Cultizm and Redcast. They're in Europe. But I broke it up based on like some American, Japanese, Australian. And if you shop at any of these stores, then you go through these links. I put it posting that everyone can see publicly on my Patreon page. And it'll divide it up based on where you are. So if you click on those links, it's got that little KTK there. It throws like, 5-10% of that my way. And it really makes it. I have to say, for someone who wants to do something creatively, any bit of money is this huge thing. So when I wake up and I see like, oh, you got $1.19 from t-shirts, that's pretty cool. A couple people have been giving super thankses, and so touche, that's a wonderful one. I'm also have 3 stages of the memberships on the Patreon. You get to see the videos earlier. You'll get some other releases. And that's that. I do have like one, I don't really want to call it a sponsor, but it kind of technically is, but it's a friend business. This isn't a big thing. I've said no to like every sponsorship that's come my way. I'm telling you about this Kotoku now, and but Unbleached Apparel t-shirts, you've seen me talk about that some. And I have to say, like, this is one guy talking to the cotton grower in Texas, talking to the stitchers in, we're going to find out where very soon. It's pretty good. And then selling them out of Brooklyn. So you got this wonderful product that I'm wearing, my mom's wearing, my wife's wearing. It's natural cotton, no elastic. There's also plenty of other wonderful fox fiber items, which is my new love. I really have to thank him for getting me back in love with cotton, a plant that I've grown up with, but I've had such a bad stigma to. And I don't think that that's the plant's fault. It's the way it's been bred and the history around that, not what we can do with it. So without further ado, I've got this interview. Special interview. I'm here with Chance Landesman, proprietor of Unbleached Apparel, so he can explain what's the deal with the t-shirts, why are these such awesome t-shirts, and what the point of the company is. Better than I can do. Hi, Chance.
Hey, Dennis. My name is Chance. I run Unbleached Apparel, and we sponsor Dennis's program here, Den and Denim. Blue jeans and white t-shirts go together like cigarettes and coffee, or bacon and eggs, or something like that, some other comparison. And very happy to be included on this live stream today, and happy 501 day, guys.
And I'm wearing your t-shirts several times a week. My mom, my wife are loving them. And can you tell us about from cotton to shipping, what the process is?
Yeah, so our shirts are grown in Texas, certified organic by the Texas Department of Agriculture. So they're grown in Texas. They're knit and sewn together all in the U.S., and then they get shipped to me in Brooklyn, where I ship out to you guys from. So completely domestic process here in the United States, doing things the old-fashioned way. No bleaches or dyes or chemicals or any crap like that you don't want on your body or in the water or anything. And yeah, this is a project I'm very passionate about. I had to start my brand because I wanted to wear environmentally conscious clothing that was good for my health, and there weren't really a lot of other brands out there who didn't put chemicals and plastic and crap and everything that they make. So I'm happy to be working with Dennis, and Dennis loves the shirts, and I hope you guys love the shirts too.
And how did you come about starting this? What was your original purpose to get this together?
I used to sell shirts in high school and college that I printed my own designs of, sort of a classic thing. But as I got older and got more into the materials of what I'm wearing, and I got into raw denim and these sorts of things and more high quality vintage garments, I became really interested in the concept of undyed and unbleached stuff that had never been touched or changed by the hands of man and was only the way that it had been grown. You get these really beautiful colors, and everything is just very natural and lasts a lot longer than bleached white stuff does. And there weren't a lot of companies that made any undyed stuff, much less made that the entire focus of their brand. So I'm very fortunate to have really the first brand of undyed stuff that sells only undyed stuff. And there are a lot of brands these days that talk about sustainability. We really like to live sustainability, have it be just our fabric. Everything we do is natural materials. We don't need to talk a lot about things that we're doing for the environment, because you can see, feeling our product, that it's good for your health, good for your environment, and good for your pockets, and all sorts of other benefits as well.
Yeah, I mean, when I get the shirts, there's none of those tags to rip off. There's no elastic in these, just cotton, cotton thread, cotton fabric, and you can feel that too, and it works. I can see, I have nice shirts, that $100 shirts, and I'm getting dinginess around the collar. This I've worn every week for a year, and it's staying about the same. I also just really loving that you got me turned on to Sally Fox's fox fiber and the heirloom cotton, the way cotton should have been. As a baker, I'm using flour, and I know the difference between white processed flour and then the taste of what bread should be. So it's very similar in those kind of respects, and the chemicals that not so much the dyes, but you're saying that the dye adhesives are actually more dangerous for putting into the environment.
Right. Well, we all are familiar, I'm sure, with indigo, natural indigo, pure indigo, synthetic indigo, these sorts of things. Synthetic indigo, of course, is a synthetic version of indigo dye, but jeans, blue jeans, Japanese jeans are sort of the only, or one of the only industries where they won't use extra adhesive, fixative chemicals to stick the dye onto the garment. That's why when you have pure indigo or natural indigo jeans, the dye rubs off and starts to fade, and you get those beautiful fading patterns. But for clothing, the dye isn't the actually only chemical that's used. In order to use the dye, you have to use all sorts of other chemicals, and just basically anytime you introduce dye into the garment process, you create a whole other amount of other long list of problems. It actually costs more for a garment manufacturer to clean up the dye and the dye waste water after they've dyed a garment than it does to dye something in the first place. So if your clothes are made in another country that doesn't have good, regulations like in the US or Europe or Japan, what's going to end up happening is people just dump all that dye waste back into their local rivers, and it gets into the ocean and destroys all the life in the local environment, but also in the ocean and the globe in general as well.
Do you think that's one of the reasons that a lot of companies are outsourcing outside of America, because of these costs, basically, that are environmental concerns?
Yeah, definitely. It's not just wages why people are going overseas. It's so that they don't have the government telling them don't pollute the planet, and so it's kind of similar to how people use a lot of synthetic and plastic fabrics these days. It's cheaper, but it also has a very, very detrimental effect on our health and the environment in general, and, all around.
Besides the t-shirts on your website, you have some pretty cool other items. Can you tell us about the pants?
Yeah, so the pants are a newer product for us. Our main product is the t-shirts that we do, which are completely plastic-free and biodegradable. The pants that we have are a classic white painter's pant, except it's not bleached white, of course. It's an unbleached, undyed color. But it's very cool, old third-generation carpenter pant company called Ace Drop Cloth. They have a brand called Tradesman, and they make these pants. And it's a family-owned business. It's not like Dickies or any big other business. Carhartt actually discontinued their painter's pants that they do. So it's sort of a classic white style pant, the painter's pant. And if you're looking for a more unique sort of variation that's hard to find these days, you can use Dennis's code that he has for our website.
Unbleachedapparel.com works all over the world. Go to that site, and then once you make a purchase, 5% off if you put in the code Den in Denim. The channel's name, just the letters straight. And I really love my keychain, I think, the most, because it's this fox fiber keychain that I can throw in the wash. It's getting darker with each rinse. And honestly, like reaching through my pockets or my wife reaching through her purse, and you grab this keychain, you just pull it out, and your keys are magic. I am really glad to have you on the channel, and thank you for your knowledge with everything. Chance, have a great 501 day, and see you later. Bye.
Bye, Dennis.
Here's that keychain. Wow! So for the rest of this episode, I want to talk about all the things that I wanted to do an episode about, but couldn't. And let's start with the pairs of Levi's that came out in the last year. I hate to keep you waiting, so let's just jump to what's going on today. I know, everyone wants this one. 9 rivets. This is today's limited edition. 800 pairs. Cone Mills denim. They're calling it pre-1875. Now, I've done an episode on 1875 already, in which I talk about the arcuate, which would be first placed on in 1874, not 1873. If you look at the arcuate, it is a very high up arcuate. And you also get these 2 stitchings That's very special about it. But if you have the 1870s pairs from it, that has that too. But this is a shrink to fit model. Notice no rivets on the cinch. And this one has a gusset. So there's 800 more pairs, chances for you guys to get gussets instead of this one. That's fantastic to you if you want a gusset and you didn't get a chance last year. Otherwise, going to tell you again, if you buy something with sewn on buttons, know how to sew. Real men can sew. Sew buttons. Otherwise, this pair has like, the coolest things are the box and the document thing it comes in. It's based on the 9 rivets pair, which is the oldest in the collection, and I talked about that in a few videos last year, 1879, 1875. But then just after all that, there's a new pair that Britt Eaton dug up, and they are possibly about the same time, but I did an episode on them, that the $100,000 jeans. So we talk about the 9 rivets in there, we talk about that pair, and these are available today. If you live in Europe, then Cultizm has them. You can use my affiliate link, and I'll let you know when they have sales, because I'm looking for their sales too, and letting you guys know. Otherwise, today is also like Levi's Day for the premium line, for the, like everyone else who's not into this historic stuff. And this is what they have. So what do you think? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I like it. I like it. So what do we see? Let's describe it. That's always how you should start out with first. I see 2-horse patches and other patched on, it looks like flies. It looks like the fly section. Again and again, pasted over the outside of a Type 3 with hand warmers and a pair of them Smink 501s. These are the birthday pairs. And you know why I like these? You know what I like about these so much is what they remind me of, which is what I watched on my birthday, which is Masters of the Universe with Courtney Cox and the jacket that she made. Oh, I love it. See, you got a patch on the collar, and then there's buttons, just like buttons running all the way to the back, shank buttons, and they're not sticking out like how they do on suspender buttons. There's some kind of extra layer, like how a fly works, that you have it so they're cushioned, and they're just more decorative. They won't really get in the way because she gets hugged a lot. That's why I like those. I think it's fun because of that. I wanted to do an episode talking about that. It happened. What would I do if I wanted to like make a jean? And I have lots of ideas, but one of them is kind of available at this point. So you can get these heat-on patches, and I would love to see a flasher guarantee tag on the jeans, just like it's new, but they're already on there. It looks pretty good, I think, on the lightly faded. There's also some other historic styles, banner, and the 2-horse patch. No guarantee tag that I saw. These are heat press stickers that you can get at some of the Levi stores if you're in a big city. I would go check it out. We'll do that one here. Now, what about what LVC has done in the meantime, I guess? 1955 hand-drawns. You can see you get the hand-drawn bag, the patch, flasher guarantee ticket are all hand stenciled. Again, an item that's more into the extras than the jeans itself. It's okay. I like it. I don't think it'll be redone again. It's out there. Pretty cute. I'm also really excited that my 1955 501 episode is like been the best, most viewed episode in the last year. It's just been going on that one of the up streaks, and I put a lot of passion into that video. It was something with the history section, the whole deal, that I was really, really happy to work it into, and I'm pretty proud of that. As far as like how the channel's doing, we just crossed 500,000 views. I'm really thrilled about that. And once we get to 5,000 views, we're at 3,500 now. And if we get to, as soon as we get to 5,000, I will do an episode about all my thumbnails. So I'll talk about all the pictures in my thumbnails, because there's like the background, the person wearing them, the pair of jeans, and then one or two other items of history sections about the garment and about American history that relate to it. Now, this is an interesting one. They redid a whole new year. Oh boy, this one I have to do a video for. I'm still working on the thumbnail, but I have the theme done. 1942. And possibly the rarest LVC pair of 501s, because there's only 80 pairs of them. I mean, even these are 150, but 80's I think the lowest I've seen. I don't think they sold them outside of Japan. They are a pair of 1942s owned by Burbagin proprietor Yutaka Fujihara. It's a rigid pair that we know is sometime after 37 because it has all the details of 37, but it's a heavier weight denim. It jumped from like 10 to 11 ounce before it jumped to 12 ounce in 1947. And it also has a flasher that they start to jump years then. It says 70 years then. My one concern about this is I thought in 1942 is when they took the crotch rivet off, and this pair has a crotch rivet. So in details, it's pretty identical. I can't find any differences between this and a 37. It's still the rarest pair of LVCs now. And if you look, you see the tag, the Eureka. So that's the Eureka Labs I was talking about. They might be doing some new line starting soon that's historic, talks about reimagining historic or doing so accurate that you can't tell the difference. I like the game of that. I like to be very historically accurate. You can be creative while doing it too. It's a nice blend. Next is the homers. Oh, we got a double homer dose going on. So if you watch The Simpsons, there's an episode, season 35, episode 17. I'll watch it when it comes to Disney Plus in a few weeks, but I haven't watched a Simpsons episode in 12 years. And there's a couple of videos, but yeah, Homer's been wearing a pair of 501s, some classic era the whole time. Levi's with a double E for Lee, and yeah, it's ambiguous. I love it. They remade Homer's. I am so curious about this pair. I don't know what to think. I don't know. I love them. I don't know when I'd ever wear them. The price was pretty astronomical, but you can understand with the stitching what goes into it. But still, there's other things going on. But I think if you wanted these, it's great. You got your chance. And there's like 4 times they've done this. They might come back. This time you got a cool bag with it. It's like a mail sack with some cool bag. The Homers are the most distressed pair, and it really shows to show like the guarantee tag use, because he turned them in 2 years after wearing them. And I don't know what he did for a living, that this pair went through so much work before being returned. Love your jeans, man. I'm working on the 1917 episode. I think I'm most excited about that one in the future because it's just a list of top movies that have denim featured in them. Mostly Levi's, and the ones that are culminal not just the ones you're going to find on the blogs. I've found a few others, and if you guys want to contribute, let me know. I've been reading through comments, double checking. And doing this really proves my idea about the historic, classic, and retro eras of how denim was being worn, and also who you see wearing them in movies. In the historic era, you're seeing Westerns. In the classic era, you're seeing the cool kids. In the retro era, you're seeing everybody wear them. So that's the same thing that I was looking at. Love it. These are still for sale on Cultizm site if you want. It goes for this next pair too. If we can talk about this, I have a couple of viewers who love the 517s. I don't know if I could wear a boot cut that's not altered because I'm a little shorter than most sizes, and that's why I like shrink to fit. But they redid the 517 boot cut. And these are made in Turkey, non-selvage, and again, a high price tag that people were upset with. Still on sale. Now, one thing that we love, and my wife is loving this, these are the violas, the 1934, calling 1930s, first women's jeans, just the prototype. There were probably less than 800 made in 1934, and then they remade them 80 years later. So this is actually a pretty good one. I don't know if they'll make a rigid model next year. You've watched this far into the video, so I'm going to let you know, like, my wife loves them. She feels like they're very soft, worn in, but they look, you just throw them with the shirt and they look pretty good. There's a neppiness in the denim. And you got these little imperfections just all over. And it's wonderful. I'm so thrilled to have a wife that just absolutely loves this stuff. Well, we're going to leave those and move on. I will do an episode about this. My question is, I don't know if I'm going to bump this up so you guys can see the episode and then choose to buy them while they're still available. I'm kind of going in chronological order. And right now, I just finished 1906 and the Great San Francisco Earthquake and Fire, the bunkhouse pair. And we're about to do the 201s next. That's what I'm working on, but that is an epic episode. Hopefully I'll get that out, but I might jump the shark and give you the 1930s, but in the way I'm telling some of the Levi's corporate story, this is the end. So I'd be telling you the end before I told you the beginning. Yet again, these are still for sale. If you want to know about buying them, you gotta upsize 3 sizes for women. They're going off of what the men's sizes were at that time before they decided let's do a separate measurements for, because women need to measure at the hips, not the waistline, if you want to go with men's jean sizes. And now these, oh man, I did an episode about the most expensive jeans of all time, $100,000. And then less than a month later, Cobain's jeans sold for $500,000. These remain the highest selling pair of jeans of all time. They were worn by Kurt Cobain. He did a lot of the stitching himself. There's this Tweety bird patch. There's these tie-dye patches. And definitely a crotch fix. That's one of the things that's what I started going to the LVC, because I was getting crotch rips in the regular Levi's for 10 years, and I finally said, there's got to be an alternative, and that was the alternative, and it worked. Selvedge Denim. I love how Kurt Cobain wore them. Just fly buttons undone. Do the top button, maybe the bottom one, and the purpose of this is to let everyone know that you're a button fly guy and not into zippers. But is this really denim, or is this more music? Because in a musical sense, it's still like, I think, between 10 and 20 of the highest selling items in rock and roll memorabilia. His guitar just went for, I think, 2 million, 5 million, 6 million. There was a couple of them going, and that, I guess, because if you have the instrument that the artist used, that's a big thing. You have the product. When you don't have a product that's tangible, then you have something that they wrote it with. So jumping back to denim and Jacob Davis, like, would a pair of the first pair of duck pants that he sewed in December 1870 be the most valuable thing, or would his Singer No. 2 sewing machine be that he did that with, be it the one that he stitched those together, one that he invented the arcuate with? How would that be? Also, what about things they just had next to them and maybe adorned and consumed? A pack of Cobain's cigarettes sold at auction for a bunch of cash. And, you know, I know he's a cereal fan. As a cereal fan, I'm wondering, like, what about his bowl of cereal? He must have been using that, eating cereal from that bowl and then writing songs. Why isn't that something more? Oh, there is what it is. I will include this when I get to the 1990s episode. The LVC line ends at 1984. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take it to every decade since, up to when I finish this, which I'm hoping is going to be in 2 years. Hopefully speeds up, but hopefully it doesn't slow down. And that's what I will include then. I still have to do a lot of research on what year these are, because every picture does not show me any type of insight to make sure that they are salvage. When I looked at the patch, there's no patch, but I'm assuming it's something late 70s, early 80s. Only identifying mark that I noticed so far is a very, very small fifth pocket. The only time I've seen a watch pocket that small is on the 1978 pairs, but that's in the LVC collection, and that was a modified pair. So I got to do some more research on that. It could just be a fluke of that and not a specific design of the year. There's some other ways I can find out, and we will before then. Let's see. Here's the numbers. $6 million for the guitar, the acoustic one. Okay. $4 million for another guitar. All right. So where are we in the 501 series? I just finished 1906. We got a couple episodes before we do. Then we're going to work our way through into the future. I don't think I'll be doing anything from the past as far as the 19th century. I have a 19th century playlist. And if you're interested in this year's pre-1875 pair, then just watch the 1875 episode. You'll learn about how the arcua was invented, and this theory that I have that Jacob Davis invented the arcuate, which is pretty common knowledge, but how he did it in that way and showing a little more support for that. I will be hopefully doing a longer episode about a biography of Mr. Strauss and one of Mr. Davis, but again, Jacob Davis is so elusive. The next episodes in the 501 story are going to explore the son of a tailor, Simon Davis, as he rebuilds the Valencia Street factory, develops the coveralls into this national selling item and all the other lines, and then eventually his failure. And then we get to 1934s, but we've also got to cover film and cotton, and then hopefully by the end of the year I'll be doing 1937. That's my goal. And that's going to be another just epic video. And if you guys want to get in for fit sections on 37, of course, if you want to get in fit sections for things that I don't have, or even if I've done it, I'll be doing compilations later on where I get as much as I can of letters, fit sections, and then putting all these in every fit video in one video. I found this Facebook group, Levi's Denim Research Group, that is been extraordinary. They will help date your pairs, find out if they're real or not. And the thing is, I can't keep up with people asking me, and I can't keep up with this because I can't even answer one. I'm just so slow to answer stuff or see stuff on social media. And I don't know, being a parent or just I can't keep up. I see posts late. I understand if you're watching this whenever. I'm gonna keep this commercial free for the rest of the week. So if you want to watch any of it then, but by the end of the week, I'm gonna add subtitles and chapter markers to make it easier for people to watch. However, and add commercials because it'll make me like a few cents, but it helps. This is really where my head is right now. Distressing your denim as much as possible in 1 year and comparing it. The Indigo Invitational is in its fourth year, it's a third year now, and there's other denim competitions all around. This is kind of the foremost. Now, you can't really wear Levi's because Levi's only goes up to 12-ounce denim. 1978s were 14 ounce, but let's not. You need 16, starting at 14 ounce. You need to go and you wear this pair every day and you compare it. You get these awesome fades. That's the thing is I don't really care about placing. It's such a wonderful competition. Do a few videos on and just get back to what I used to be in that sense. I love trying all these on and I have some comfy pairs, but let's see if I can step it up in that notch. And so I've been doing as much research as I can about different companies. In the next month, I'll have a video that is not Levi's. It's a different company, different review. Love these jeans. Gonna talk about it. Curious if you guys are gonna guess which brand I'll be doing first that's not Levi's. But I've already filmed it, just need to edit it and put it together, and it should be done relatively soon. But I'm looking at heavyweight denim, and I'm imagining that I can't really jump into these, the heaviest weight denim that you can find. It's supposed to be a 40-ounce from Naked and Famous, but I can't find it available. So in Sweden makes the 33-ounce denim, and I'd love to do it. But I'm not going to jump from 12 ounce to 33 ounce. I got to pay my dues. I paid my dues with Levi's. I need to do it with other denim. So I'm thinking something more along the lines of 20 ounce. Anywhere from 16.5 to 25. So, there's a few options I'm looking at. I can go the cheap route. Are cheaper actually than unbranded. I think if you go to Brave Star, you can actually find something, but Brave Star is kind of the winner because of I don't know if it's a who wears it more so than the denim, but you have that made in Culver City, California. Pretty cool. Brave Star Selvedge makes pretty much those ranges. I'm looking at them. For jeans, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear, but doing a lot of research. And I'm looking at other people's videos who make this stuff, and I love it. And I think the videos help each other. You watch one, you watch another of the same thing, and it's wonderful. But more so, I've been really into denim work shirts. I got a cheap one on Vinted. It was made in Cone Mill. It was Cone Mill's denim, Levi's premium, but I like it. I didn't realize I'd love it so much. And my foremost company I'm really looking at is Ciano or in Ciano Farmer Denim. I want to pronounce it Chano, but it's like small company in Texas tailoring jeans, and it has the details that I love of the work shirts. Well, So makes some awesome work shirts, Western shirts, and I love the customization styles they have on them. The things I'm looking for are turquoise buttons, which you can't get. That's like, this is the only company I can find that has turquoise snap-on buttons on a custom shirt. And I love the fringe. It's just like this detail that you really only seem to get when you get a custom tailored shirt. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm more of a work shirt guy than a Western shirt, but I something I should have been into. And if you want to distress them, you do the Red Line Rally, which is the shirt version or jacket version. And I think just having a shirt with awesome honeycombs in the elbows is touche. That's tops. All right, I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about in this collection. And gonna just double check, see if there's any comments. A lot of people asked me to do Spanish subtitles, and I really wish I could do that and double check them. But I'm hoping that at least my English subtitles are getting translated correctly. Sam Z, thank you so much. I hope I answered your question about what's doing up with the LVC line. I'm going to do an episode about how I did one with Premium and do one about the LVC collection. But I'm really excited to move on to some other things and also tell the 501 story. I've got the rest of the Shrink to Fit coming, how to wear from Rigid, and Tub Soak, which I'm really excited about too. And thank you so much, guys, for all your stuff. And Japanese denim companies, yeah. I just give a brief, what I think about, a lot of different companies. What's going on in Thailand is one of my most, I'm fascinated by it. Pinoy is Pinion. Denim is out of this world what their fades are doing. But I don't know if that's just the climate or that. Japanese, I think, is the top notch, and I'm hoping to do a series covering all of the Osaka 5 and integrating into its own series, just like I'm doing with the 501 series. The discontinuation of LVC is, the American line doesn't have anything to do with it, but the Japanese line makes it, and then they basically say, hey, America line, do you want any of these? And I think at the end it just goes back to there. But it's still available, and they're going to have something. I myself am pretty happy with my collection. I'm looking for the Shield Henley, cotton linen Shield Henley. And I'm trying to sell my 1966 Japanese text pair, but waist 30 untouched. But otherwise, I'm pretty much I got what I got, and I want to explore other denim stuff. I thank you, man. I worked the whole month was focused on the live stream. I'm really happy it got done. It was a wonderful day spent with family. Crazy hail the size of cherries. And hoping to do this every year. At some point, we'll hopefully do it in San Francisco. It's been an hour now. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. Love your jeans.